Hey, we're going live, but I need to turn this around. Happy Monday, everyone. It is actually daylight out, driving home. Isn't that cool? Daylight savings time. Make it easier for you to see your house in the daylight when you get home. Although you probably didn't enjoy getting up an hour earlier this morning. Alarm clock ringing a lot sooner than you expected it to. Anyways, crazy day today. More stuff going on with the coronavirus, the markets in free for all. What do we do about that? Well, I don't know what you can do about the stock market. Probably nothing. If you got money sitting around, maybe buy some stocks. Always look at the fundamentals. Make sure that the stocks are still overpriced because the market's gone up quite a bit in the last year. So could be a return to normal just in a really, really quick fashion. Or there could be some undervalued bargains. If you're savvy enough to dig them out, you should do it. It's what Warren Buffett's made his billions on, buying low and never selling. He's got 2 rules of investing. Rule number 1, never lose money. Rule number 2, don't forget rule number 1. I like that one. So when he's looking at investments to make, he doesn't look at like the stock go up or the stock go down, but he looks as he buying the business on the revenue it earns. So you kind of want to look at like how much net income that's bringing in per share and what that return is and what the future growth might look like and if that's sustainable. So that's kind of it. There's some books that they're out there, you can read them, get the gist of it, but it's not like magic. It's actually pretty basic, pretty common sense stuff. It's a lot of patience, it's a lot of reading earnings reports and looking for an opportunity to buy something that's undervalued and making it a purchase or providing a value add, which is a lot like anything you invest in. Everybody thinks this needs to be crazy and tech and hot and fun and ins and outs, get in, buy, sell, trade. Most people make a lot of money in the stock market make sound decisions, buy low, and don't sell. Sit on it, ride it. Unless you got somewhere else better to park that money, it's better just to let it sit where it's at. Most people, though, don't know enough or have the time or resources to invest in individual stocks. So for that, they always recommend low index mutual funds that kind of follow the market. That's always a good strategy because they're probably going to do just about as good as you could do or anybody else could do. So look for the lowest fees possible in a Vanguard. That's a good option. This live wasn't supposed to be about investing strategy, investment ideas, but we're going to talk about the stock market and talking about the coronavirus. That's got a lot of people scared. A lot of big events are being canceled. A lot of trade shows are being canceled. So what do you do if your livelihood revolves around networking and meeting people and drumming up business? What if your income is derived on, working for tips, working for things where people are traveling? What if you work for the airlines or you work in a hotel? Should you be worried? Maybe temporarily, short term. Probably not for the long term, because if you're going to do things for the long term, you're going to have ups and downs, and you're going to make pivots, and you're going to make changes if you can. That's why I'm such a huge advocate of building your network of personal relationships. I can't harp on this enough. Meeting people, finding people in different industries other than your own, making connections. You never know when you're going to need a hand up. You never know when you can give somebody else a hand up. So get out there and start building those relationships now. They don't pay off today. They don't usually pay off tomorrow. It usually takes time to build them. You want to build friendships and see where things go. Also want to talk about being a sponsor or an advocate for somebody. So these are people that you can take under your wing, or somebody will take you under their wing. Maybe you don't interact with them a lot on a day-to-day basis, but they're the ones that are going to advocate for you. They're going to encourage other people to go connect with you. So if you can find somebody that's an advocate of yours, that's great. If you can be an advocate for somebody else, that's even better, because I think you're going to find you're going to get more from giving than from getting. So I'd find somebody that just really resonates with you, somebody who you trust, that they bring a lot of energy to the table, and share that person with as many people in your network as you can. And when you're providing value to other people in your network, they're gonna see how awesome a person you are, and all boats rise with the tide. Lifting everybody up helps you up too. Remember that, do that, follow that. So what do you do when you can't network in person because you're worried about all the crazy stuff going on? You can do it online. You can LinkedIn. You can get on LinkedIn. That's a great place to do it. What you can do is find people you have interest in. Find people that are in industries you like. Talk about topics you like. Search hashtags you like. Follow a few people. See what they're posting. Make some comments on their post. Like their post. Engage them in a discussion on the post. And if that's going well, and you're not an asshole, you know how to use the DMs appropriately, then send them a message. Say, hey, what's up? Maybe you want to grab a coffee, but you can't do it because it's coronavirus season and you don't want to get out in public. So instead, Zoom meetings, go-to meetings, those are great opportunities to get on a 15-minute call. Everybody thinks everything has to be like a half hour, an hour. I'm like 5, 10, 15 minutes, just kind of banging out, like cut to the chase. Like I don't have to know your whole history, although it makes for a better connection. At least for the first time, just get on and chit chat for 15, 20 minutes. Hey, what are you doing? What are you working on? What do you know? Let me check out your website. Let me check out your business profile. Let me see if there's anybody in my network I might be able to connect you to, and take it from there. So I think go-to meetings are an amazing way to do it. You can also create content. When you create content, you post some videos. Videos are easy to do. Talk about what you got going on. Post it. Add a little copy to it, a little context, what the video's about. See if people engage in that content. See, you're networking. You're making connections. People are seeing you. You will be surprised how many people do not like, comment, or share posts on the reg. Like, you might get, I don't know, a lot of times I get 500,000 views of a post, but maybe 14 likes, 2 or 3 comments. So I don't know what that ratio is, but maybe 2 or 3% of the people seeing your stuff are actually engaging on it. So even though you're not getting likes and follows and shares, you think you're posting it for no reason, people are watching. You never know who the people are that are watching, and you never know when that's going to lead to an amazing connection. I think if you're open-minded with connecting with people and just going, hey, where is this going to go? What happens if I go down the rabbit hole and connect with people? And when you meet, I'm going to be honest with you, not everybody you meet is going to be the best connection you've ever met. Some people are just going to be in passing. Hey, I met this person one time. I kind of know about them, know who they are. Say hi if we pass each other, but you maybe never interact more than that. Other people you might do business with for a little while. You might interact with for a little while. They might go their out separate ways. But occasionally you meet that advocate, that sponsor, and they tell you, go meet this person. And usually, if that person tells you to go meet that other person, they are holding that person in highest regard that they hold you. And they would not have you meet that person if they didn't think you two would have a lot to talk about. So then you go meet that person, and voila, there's a lot to talk about. You're having amazing conversations. You're on the same page, and they recommend, I think you should check something else out. So you could make excuses. I don't have time for that. It's too much. I don't know where it's going to go. I don't even know these people. That's a lot. I'm nervous. I'm scared. Or you could say, I trust that if my first person told me to meet you, that I didn't question it, and you turned out to be awesome, and you're recommending me go down to the next path, no questions asked. You take it. You take the meeting. You do it. That is how amazing things happen. Stepping outside of your comfort zone, meeting people you had never thought possible, and seeing where it goes. Because you never ever know. You never ever know. You don't know who's sitting next to you in the airport. You don't know who's sitting next to you on an airplane. A lot of times you think you might be sitting next to just some random person who very well could be one of the biggest, baddest, ferocious investors on the planet. But they're quiet and they're humble and they fly and coach with the rest of us. You don't know. So have a conversation with the person sitting next to you. You got nothing else to do. What are you going to watch? Netflix? Catch up on that? There's always time for that. Or there's not always time for that. And is your life any worse or any better without it? I don't know. That's for you to decide. So that's kind of my take for the day on networking. I think a lot of people are going to start finding that go-to meetings and Zoom meetings are an excellent way to communicate with people and connect. Excuse me. I was kind of against it at first. How many times you get on like a go-to meeting and there's like 10 people on it, and you're just working on something else till it's your turn to talk and you're pretending to watch a presentation? That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about a one-on-one video conference. You're looking at each other eye to eye, or at least you're looking at your camera and they're looking at their camera. You're looking at the screen. Who knows? Sometimes my camera's up here and the screen's down here, and I'm like looking down because I'm watching them on the camera, but the camera's up here, so they're probably like, why aren't you looking at me? Anyways, eye contact is a huge thing, so I'm gonna have to fix that up on my go-to meetings at home, because it's not really working out as good and as effective as it should be because of that eye contact. Yeah, I think it's a great way to, one, saves you a ton of time driving places. I mean, even just meeting somebody for lunch, the time it takes to drive to lunch, sit down, drive back from lunch, that could be like 20 minutes of time that I spent commuting to lunch just on the road. And in the time it takes to do that, you could have a amazing connection over a Zoom meeting. So that's a great way to save some time and be a bit more effective of your use. Plus, you can always be in your pajamas, just throw on a nice shirt for the upper body torso, or not if you are that kind of meeting taker. Big news today. After all the excitement, all the headaches, all the tech issues, all the not knowing anything about how to record a podcast, create a podcast, post a podcast, a format for a podcast, I was actually able to get the All In podcast with Nate Pale posted to iTunes, posted to Stitcher. It's on Spotify. It's on Google Play. You can subscribe to it. You can get the episodes on your phone. You can listen to them. They're like, in the 30-minute range, some less, some more. There's going to be more of them coming weekly. I got a bunch queued up, so they're going to be all dropping each week. And we got more guests being booked constantly. Right now, it's a lot of people that I know and respect in the building industry and or startup world and or amazing people that just have cool stories to tell. And I think you should get to know them. Or I think they have a valuable message that's important for networking. All people I met through networking at some point. These were people that I started a job and they stuck me in the office and I sat next to them and we conversed because we sat next to each other. These are all people I met through the industry, through networking, and they became my friends, not because they called on me to sell me shit, but because we interacted and had a personal relationship. Hey Brenda, how are you doing? Glad you could join. Anyways, that podcast is now live. It would mean a lot if you could subscribe to it. And if you can leave a review, a 5-star would be better than a 4, of course, or leave a comment on the reviews. You can find it on my website, natepeo.com. You can find it on my Instagram profile, or you can find it on iTunes. You can just search Nate Peo, and I should come up. I checked it myself because I subscribed to my own podcast because, hey, why not? I want to see it's working properly. So that would really help me out, and I think you'll get some value out of the advice the people that have graced me with their time are talking about. So that's pretty exciting, and I'm looking forward to seeing where that goes. If you're interested in being a guest on my podcast, you can always reach out to me, send me a message. I'd love to have people that are interested in sharing their stories come on and talk about it. We'll figure out a time. It's pretty easy. It's pretty simple. It's very casual. I'm going to try to get the format a little bit more dialed in. I got some feedback today from one of my good friends. He said you need to have a good intro, something exciting, something crazy. Take people through, like my old professor used to say, you got to take people through hell and then bring them back, show them how bad it can be, then reel them back in with what the value you have to provide, and then close it on a bang with a good story at the end. So I should be working on that, like my Instagram lives. They just kind of start and they just kind of stop as the conversation goes. So that's really it that I have for today. Again, I've been posting these videos after I'm done. I save them and then I add them to YouTube. I think my YouTube channel is nathanpeo.com. I was trying to change it, but I couldn't figure it out. Anyways, I would like to get some more subscribers there. I'd like to get some more subscribers anywhere. So if you're on YouTube, you can subscribe to my channel. It's a refresh. You can catch up on these Instagram lives when they're no longer live. So with that, I'm going to head out. My voice is getting scratchy. I've had a chest congestion last few days, nasal drip, and I have not had the best sounding voice for radio, and it gets kind of dry and scratchy as I talk. So enjoy your Monday. Hope the time change didn't wreck it for you, and we'll talk tomorrow live from the drive.